welcome back to the Keep 7 Gaming YouTube channel, and today we're doing something a little bit different. As opposed to just doing a deck tech or deck breakdown, we're going to enter in a quick draft for War of the Spark. War of the Spark has been one of my favorite sets, or at least the cards from this set have been some of my favorite cards to play with. Obviously, a lot of the War of the Spark cards see a lot of play currently in Standard still, so pretty good set. Always really liked it, so they did a quick draft for War of the Spark. Wizards put a quick draft up in Arena, so I figured I would enter, and figured why not record it. So we are going to enter into a quick draft. I don't draft super often. I've only drafted a handful of times. Mostly Ikoria drafts. I think I've done one or two other, maybe Core Set 2020 and something else. I've only really done really well a couple times, so I'm still getting used to drafting, still learning a lot about it. But I figured this would be a good opportunity to record, and we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, so let's see here. So we've got commence the end game. This spell can't be countered. Draw 2 cards that amass X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So that seems like I know that's a pretty powerful card. That could be very much a win condition. The Wanderer, prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control. Exile target creature with power 4 or greater. That's a very good card too. Obnixilis I know is good removal, but I think we're going to go with commence the endgame there. I think that's the strongest win con that we have here, so we'll go with commence the endgame as our first pick. So it looks like we're starting off in bleu. Counter target spell unless a controller pays 2, amass 2. Divine Arrow deals 4 damage to a target creature that's attacking or blocking. What I like about Quick Draft is you're not drafting with other humans, so there is no ticking clock, so I can look at all these cards for as long as I want. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. That creature cannot be blocked this turn. Stealth mission. I'm thinking Divine Arrow just so that we secure some. The thing about counter spells is I've run counter spells in a draft before, and in a best of 1 format, counter spells just seem too slow. Especially a 4-mana counter spell where if they pay 2, it doesn't even work. So I think Divine Arrow is the best removal that we see here. Kaya's Ghost Form could be pretty interesting. But I might save that to get the good removal now. Single combat. Each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control and then sacrifices the rest. Players can't cast creature or planeswalker spells until the end of turn. Single combat. That's a very interesting sorcery card. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter has it adds 10. Put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. We could do blue-green. I think that's what we'll do. We'll try for blue-green for now.
It's nice to meet you.
Put +1/+1 counters on things. We'll lean into the proliferate. As much as I like a Johnny, I don't know that would be able to gain life as often as we would need to get him pumped up. Thunderdrake, flying. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Thunderdrake. Draw a card and then discard a card. That could be useful, but I kind of like Thunderdrake here. What's this guy do? Look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, put it on the bottom of your library. I think I like Thunderdrake here. Leans into our proliferate thing. God Pharaoh's Statue. Spells your opponent cast cost 2 more to cast. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 1 life. That could be interesting, but Teferi's time. Exit target permanent you control. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. If it enters the battlefield as a creature, put a +1/+1 counter. So that could save one of our creatures. That leans into the proliferate. I like it, and it's cheap. Oh, another Teferi's Time Twist. Return to nature, destroy target artifact, removal. I think we need to get a creature here because we don't have any yet, and this would be a very good creature to have. So we'll take him. Leans into proliferate. As an additional sacrifice creature, I'll take the Neoform here, to be honest. I'm seeing Teferi's Time Twist getting passed on. We'll take Augur of Bola. Well, or do we want Ramp? When Augur of Bola, look at the top 3 cards. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of the library. Or do we want Ramp? Do we want to ramp up to stuff? We'll take Augur of Bolas now, because I think we'll probably see... Emergent Zone. Sacrifice, you may cast spells this turn as though they had flash. That's a pretty interesting card. Do we want another high-end creature? I kind of like the sorcery. Leans into the proliferate stuff. Force landing. Put target creature with flying in the bottom of its owner's library. I might take Emergent Zone here. I mean, they're not getting picked, so I probably will be able to get it anyway. Ooh. Or we can take Prismite, pay 2 mana to add 1 mana of any color. I actually don't really like that. We'll take the Emergent Zone. Take a Wall of Runes. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top card of a target opponent's library. Interesting. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker, you can reveal it, put it in your hand. If you don't put the card in your hand, put it at the bottom of your library. I mean, I guess we could do Vivian's Grizzly there. 6 mana. Legendary artifact. I'm going to take the statue and put it in the sideboard. We'll take Return to Nature here. I just don't see that card really doing that much. Another Teferi's Time Twist. Ooh, a Mobilized District. I think we take Narset here. Mobilized District seems interesting, but you pay 4 mana for a 3/3 with Vigilance until end of turn. Its ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature or planeswalker you control. We have 2 planeswalkers, so potentially it could be. Each creature you control with power 4 greater can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. I like Narset because she shuts some stuff down. You look at the top 3 cards. I'm going to need... Yeah, so I'm going to take Narset here. We do need more creatures. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a player, we don't really have much Death Touch. With Death Touch, huh? Leans into our Proliferate, but do we need more Planeswalkers? When a land enters the battlefield under your control, Proliferate. I like that. Spellkeeper weird. From your graveyard to your hand. No escape. Counter target creature or planeswalker spell if that spell is countered this way. Exile it instead of putting it in its owner's graveyard. Maybe. Ooh, Contentious Plan. Proliferate, draw a card. Hopefully that Bloom Hulk stays around. Ooh. If 1 or more +1 punishment would be put on it, put that many +1 on it instead. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great creature for us to grab. Happy with that. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. I don't hate that. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and you can tap of any color. When this enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or Proliferate. So we'll take her, and hopefully those other green and Blues stick around. Target non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. That's a bit expensive. Enters the battlefield tapped. Add 2 mana of different colors. Either we take that or we take Ashiok's Skulker. Or maybe we take another Courage. Courage and Crisis. Enchant land. When New Horizons enter the battle, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Enchanted land has add 2 mana of any color. Yeah, we'll do that. I think that's kind of the best of all worlds there. Reach. Whenever Spare Spinner blocks a creature with flying, gets +2. So it's essentially a 3/3 when it blocks things with flying. Do we take another Kiora's Dam Breaker, or do we take the Snare Spinner? We'll take the Snare Spinner in hopes that we find another late game bomb. We'll take Kasmina's Transmutation. Let's take a look. So creatures 9, instant, sorcery, enchantment. So we're pretty solid. Primordial Worm. 6 mana. So now we might take the late game bomb of Primordial Worm. We'll do Courage and Crisis. We'll put this in the sideboard. I'll take another Courage and Crisis. I'll take a Steady Aim. Put this in the sideboard. Ooh, perfect. Flying Trample. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on another target creature you control. When he dies, proliferate, and then proliferate again. That's a fucking great card for us to see. Ward Scale Crocodile. I like that it is hexproof. When it enters the battlefield, other creature get trample until end of turn. I mean, it's an expensive hexproof, but it's hexproof nonetheless. And I feel like Spellkeeper Weird will be around. It's one of these three is what we're going to pick. I feel like he's going to be around. When it enters the battlefield, other creatures gain trample until end of turn. That could potentially be very good. Do I want another one of these guys? The Jiang Yangu Wildcrafter. Or do I want more? We'll take the 4/4 that when it enters the battlefield, proliferate. We'll take another Evolution Sage. I already have 2 Teferi's Time Twists, so I think I'm going to take Arboreal. I'm going to take one of these 3. I already have one of these. Do I have a Return to Nature? I do. Does Arboreal Grazer help us? Could help us ramp, but later in the game, Arboreal Grazer has diminishing returns. I mean, like Arboreal Grazer's great if you have, if you have him in your starting hand. But once he's out of your starting hand, he just loses all. You know, top decking an Arboreal Grazer. I say that, and I'm gonna take another one. Or I'm gonna take one. Ooh, Lazotep. Amass one. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. So really, our commence the end game doesn't really fit in here. I mean, it could be a good late game play, but we're really leaning into the proliferate stuff. So I don't even know if it's worth picking this up because we don't have much. So I'm going to take the Arboreal Grazer here. We'll take New Horizons. I think here we're going to take... I'm thinking Sky Theater Strix because we have a lot of non-creature spells. Could put some early pressure on our opponents. We have 2 Teferi's Time Twists, so I'll take another one of those. How many creatures do we have? 16. Instant, 5 sorceries. So maybe we take our 4th Courage and Crisis. Nah, let's take the other Sky Theater Strix. We'll get that Ward Scale Crocodile. I'll just put you in the sideboard. Forced Landing. I don't... Yeah, we'll do Forced Landing. We'll take another Grazer. Put that in the sideboard, and there we go. So this is our deck. Now we got to make some cuts. What do we want to cut? I love Neoform. I love Narset. I like these. We can cut some of these, though. I like Evolution Sage. Potentially cutting... Well, we're going to cut a Commence the Endgame because that doesn't really work with what we're trying to go with. Maybe cut a Primordial Worm, but we'll see. We'll see. We're definitely going to cut a Grazer. Drawing into a late game Grazer, I think, is definitely not ideal. It's removal. This could save a creature. Maybe just 1 Teferi's Time Twist, but we'll see. I'm going to take out the Forced Landing for now. We have some stuff that can deal with flyers. Maybe we don't need 3 of these. We can cut that down to 2. I just don't think Vivian's Grizzly is good enough. Ward Scale Crocodile potentially could get cut. We'll just cut it. What does this default to? 17 lands? I like 17 lands. So we need to cut 7 cards. Maybe we get rid of 1 Sky Theater Strix. Get rid of 1 Teferi Time Twist, 1 Return to Nature. I want to keep these. I do want to keep these. Maybe 1 New Horizons. Primordial Worm. I'm going to cut the Grazer. Maybe Augur of Bolas. I like that he can fetch, an instant or sorcery, and I don't think we have a lot of instants. We have a lot of sorceries, though. We have some instants. So maybe the Wall of Runes gets the cut. It gets rid of all of our turn 1 plays, but maybe we need these for, 1 mana plays. Maybe we don't. Maybe we have no turn 1 plays and we just rely on... What are our turn 2 plays? How many turn 2 creatures do we have? We have that. We have that. We have that. 1, 2, 3. A lot of turn 4s. So maybe we do need some turn 1 plays. We need some low mana stuff. So we need to cut some high mana stuff. So maybe we get rid of Evolution Sage. And untap target creature gets +1/+4. Maybe Steady Aim. And we'll go with this. So yeah, let's see how this does. Our first opponent in our draft is Simagoshi. Pleased to meet you, Simagoshi. We have some removal, but not for creatures. And then we have a bomb here and only a turn 2 play. I'm going to keep it. Okay, so he's playing red. Jaya's Greeting. That sucks. Alright, so this might have been a massive mistake. Next turn we get Thundering Drake, but that assumes that they didn't pick up more removal. Oh jeez. We might get run over here. Whenever we cast our second spell each turn, we put +1/+1 counters on him. So that was a solid turn. This should keep them at bay. I don't know if they have removal, but we can proliferate and then proliferate again. This is a very interesting mono red. We'll just play him out. I'd love to be able to be playing more. You know, playing more fucking stuff, but I think so now. If he attacks with Krenko, we'll kill it. Hopefully stave off the 1/1s. I mean, I'm fine taking, you know, what is it, 4, 5, 6 damage if I can kill the Krenko. So Return to Nature not looking so great. I don't know that... I mean, it could be good for if he had an enchantment. Maybe good to keep in the deck, but... So we got to stop that from happening, so we're going to kill the Krenko here. Or is it even worth it? Because next turn we can... I mean, he's doing 3 damage. He's doing the most damage, so this makes sense. Even if he kills my Thundering Ceratok... Unless he has a way to kill some of our creatures. Should get us the dub. So he does 4 damage. And he lost. All we needed to do was swing in. He didn't have enough. But red is super powerful here. I mean, we just beat red, but boy, oh boy. If I didn't draw into what I drew into, he would have totally run us over. All right, our second opponent for the day is Alex. Please don't play mono red Alex. I didn't realize how powerful mono red was. Sacrifice a creature. We have no creatures to sacrifice here. Oh, man. No early plays is kind of tough. Mulliganing that hard was pretty brutal, but no. Drawing into Arboreal Grazer is not what I want to do right now. So the next question is, do I put Augur of Bolas down? Methinks. Stave off that Charmed Stray. And nothing. So my question is, do those stay? They do not. So we'll put Sky Theater down. Swing in with Augur. See if he wants to have that Charmed Stray removed from the battlefield. He doesn't. We can still block it with multiple of our creatures. And then I think our next turn is either Courage in Crisis or Moar. Or if we draw into land. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to Courage in Crisis. We're going to put a +1/+1 counter on Sky Theater. Strix. Swing in with both. Would have loved to have drawn into an untapped land there, but we didn't. Question is, does he have Divine Arrow for Sky Theater Strix? Huh, interesting. We'll proliferate. I guess essentially we did exactly what. All right. So let's see. The reason I didn't play that land is I just want him to think I have something. I mean, there's no point, but. Well, now that works. We'll play him out. Play him out. That gets us the 5 damage that we need to end the game there. So shaping up, I think, shaping up to be a pretty good deck so far. Our next opponent is Gunburn 1130. With a name like Gunburn, he's in silver. I'm playing somebody in silver already. Holy heck. Okay, so we got some I like this hand way better. We're going to put the Return to Nature away because that was pretty much a dead card in one of our matchups. Put the Forest down, and then we can put Augur of Bolas down because we don't mind too much if that gets removed. Nope. Swing and a miss. Lazotep Reaver. So I think he's leaning into the Amass archetype. Let's get the Scry, since he's starting a little bit slow. Cosmina's Transmutation. We don't have any removal, so I want to keep that up top. No attack, because he could just block with the Reaver. First strike. We're stumbling on lands here, which sucks. I don't see anything that I really want to remove yet, so we'll play him. I mean, we knew we were stumbling on lands because we knew we were going to draw Kesmina's Transmutation, but... Okay, that's fair. Better he use it now than later. Sky Theater Strix is one of our... is a good card. But... rather, let's see, what did this do? Deals 3 damage to target creature, planeswalker. Deals 5 damage if you control a planeswalker. Alright, so... we'll block... we can't kill anything, right? Actually, yes we can. We can kill the 1/1. So we'll block him, and we'll block the 1/1. Let the 1/1 die. Unless he wants to beef up the 1/1 somehow. Okay. I don't see anything that I particularly want to block. We're really getting shafted here with the lack of... doesn't really matter what we block here. Wow, this is just unbelievable. I have 17 lands. Where are they? You know? Unbelievable. And that God Pharaoh statue, that sucks. Here are all the lands that I needed. Wow. This game's over. Oh man, stumbling on lands that hard really, really hurt us. Doesn't really matter what we do at this point. That's game. Doesn't matter. Alright, well, we take our first L, and it was due to stumbling on lands. What are you going to do? Every now and then, that's going to happen. I have 17, don't I? That's a fair amount of lands. And a 40-card deck, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, our next opponent for the day is Black Knight. Not with a K, but with an N. We have some early removal, we have some early plays, we have some things that we can sacrifice to get some better things out there. Sacrifice our Wall of Runes to get, like, something better. Let's see what we get with our Scry. More land. I'm going to take more land because that was a problem in our last game. I do not want to stumble again. See if he wants to kill my Evolution Sage. Evolution Sage could also be something that we... okay, so yeah, he's going to kill that. Fair enough. A lot of red in Moar of the Spark draft. Make it a 2/6. Our unremovable wall of runes. Oh, it can attack and block. Doesn't have flying, though. Which we need because flying can really screw our day up. The good thing, though, is I don't think he's going to be able to remove either of these. We have the Neoform we can use on the Thundering Ceratok. We can get our flyer guy. Does he want to attack? I don't think so. Let's see here. See if he just sacrifices his creatures to get the pump. I mean, at the very least, sacrifice your Shriek Diver, right? If he wants to clear up his own board, that's fine with me. So we need to draw into some bombs here. There he is. A 6/7. Maybe should have saved the Cosminus Transmutation for the on-crop Invader, but worst comes to worst, Wall of Runes just has to eat it. He has to pump the on-crop twice, which means he would have to remove 2 of his own guys. And I kill it by, I mean, the Wall of Runes kills it, so. If he wants to sacrifice Lazotep, it's fine with me. And if he wants to sacrifice the Operative, that's fine with me. Or even the Ogre. But clearing his own board is, by and large, fine with me. Oh, it has First Strike. There you go. That'll explain you. That'll learn you. So let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see what he does. Is this an instant? It's a sorcery. Kind of don't want to get rid of the Thundering Ceratok or Rolasek Apex Hybrid, but let's see. So he can sack 2, 4. How much can he do? He can do, so he can sack 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so 4 damage, 6, 8, 10. So he can do 10 damage right now. Can we take that? With first strike. We have to. We have to take this. Let's go for the big play here. Do we sacrifice Rolasec? Oh man, triggers didn't happen the way I thought they would. So let's see. Does he have another creature you can put out there? Jesus. So let's see if he wants to target Narset instead of targeting us. Man, that on-crop invader, man. Really should have saved the Transmutus, or Casminus transmutation for him. He's been a thorn in my side. Two, 4, 6, 8. So that's not enough. So he needs to play out another creature. Worst comes to worst, I just let the snare spinner take the brunt of the blast. Come on, get me something good. Fuck. I hope we're holding him at bay. I mean, if he draws into another creature, because I don't 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so he can sacrifice his whole board. Oh man. Damn. We're just not drawn into stuff. Return to nature. Again, just not really doing much. Maybe we should be more aggressive with our Kiora's Dambreaker, but hopefully he... If I were him, I'd get rid of probably, yeah, him and the Spellgorge are weird. Really was hoping I would draw into some sort of removal for On-Crop Invader, but boy oh boy, we just didn't find it. That's game. Come on, bud. Just end it. Ah, shucks. Oh man, just running into stuff that we can't deal with and then not being able to draw into what we need. Pretty brutal. Alrighty. Could lose it here. 2 losses, I think 2 wins, so we're at 500, but would be great to really kind of clean up and get our winning, or to get our gems back would be nice, but alright, our next opponent for the day is Sagrak K. And he's in gold and we are in bronze, so good luck us. Ugh. Well, not ideal, but oh joy. I'll take a land. That's not the land I want, but We'll let him pump his health. At least we get our bad cards out of the way. And then if he plays into something good, we have Rollisek Apex Hybrid. Rowlesk, not Rollisek, Rowlesk. We have some late game bombs here. Why didn't he attack? We need to draw into one more land. We can get Rowlesk out there. If we get a +1/+1, it goes on our Arboreal Grazer. Let's see if he wants to remove Rowlesk. So we'll proliferate there. Go for a full swing in. And let's see what his response is. We have the Casmina's Transmutation, which it looks like we might... Okay. So we might Casmina's Transmutation the Saheeli Silverwing. We don't care if that dies. Do we neoform anything? I don't think so. Oh, yeah. So maybe we should have Casminaed something else. But the good thing is it dies. It loses the Kai's Ghost form. It'll come back. But not a huge problem for us. And then I'm going to neoform the Wall of Runes because he ain't doing too much. Ratmia. We'll bring her in. Or +1/+1. Okay. And that's game. So, picking up a win. So now we're 3-2. Will we stay on the path of being even, or will we not? All right, our next opponent in the quick draft is Ostro. He's in silver, we're still in bronze. I don't know why we keep getting matched up with people who are higher ranked than us, but I mean, I like this hand. I just don't like that we don't have any green. Do we hope we draw into it? I mean, I think that's too risky for our end-all be-all game. This is still too risky. I mean, I love the late plays, but we need some early plays. People are just playing this game real fast, as we've been seeing with mono red. You know, we've played some really fast decks that have gotten things out there. So as much as okay, so we'll keep this because we have some early plays, early-ish. I'd love to play her later, but got to do what you got to do. So we'll get rid of you and maybe Bloomhulk. As much as I hate to do that, I mean, I would... Maybe we get rid of Bolas. Or no, we should have gotten rid of Pollen Bright. I had saved her for later and kept Bolas. But at least when we play Bloom Hulk, that will proliferate her unless she gets removed. Yep, she gets removed. Hide the fact that we have a Bloom Hulk. Jeez. Everybody's just got answers for stuff. Holy heck. Oh man. I literally only did that just to keep them at bay. Hopefully they don't have more stuff that they can do and we can just, you know, oh man. I'm in desperation mode here. Oh man. Jesus, okay. Should have done that to the flying thing, but it's already a 1-1. This might give us some time. Scry, what do we see? Neoform. What could I get with Neoform if I Neoform my Wall of Runes? Screw it. Might as well keep it. Jeez. Oh boy. Does he just want the amass token, or does he have a combat trick here? Another combat trick. Maybe I should have just let this go. Jesus. Return to Nature is such a dead card. Such a dead card. I need something fucking huge here. Alright, well, there you go. That sucks. Didn't have a lot of draw power in this deck. Didn't have a lot of stuff, but I feel like we drafted decently. I mean, we had the proliferate thing going. So 3 wins, 3 losses. I'll take a 500 record. Wish we could have done better, but at the end of the day, what does it really matter? Ah, I don't have one of those. That's nice. Krieger, what? Hey, buddy. So yeah, could have gone better. Little defeated, but could have gone worse. Better than expected. I could have gone 0-3, right? So chalk that up as a win, and yeah. So we'll catch you in the next one.